Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hey everybody, Monday again. Unbelievable how fast these weeks go by. Here we are on USA Global TV and Radio, just for you. I'm sorry, you as a whole. That's my company, just for you. You as a whole, body, mind, and soul. So this week I have to be a little bit measured. I've been a little crabby today, to say the least. I haven't been feeling real energetic or happy today. And I've been thinking about things that people say that I know people mean well when they say certain things. And I know that they try to be helpful. But when people tell you you need to do this or you need to do that, sometimes they really need to step off. And they need to understand that there's a difference between needs versus wants. And what I need and what I want. Here we go with that color thing again. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I want the camera to work well. I don't need it to work well. I would like it to work well. But even that, I could feel my heart race a little bit and frustration, like my blood pressure just that second, just like that, went up. Because I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This thing's been working all day, and now all of a sudden it decides it doesn't want to work right. But what do you need? What do you really need versus what do you want? I want a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I want. There are a lot of things that I'm not going to live to get. And I know that. And I accept that. I am not thrilled about it, but you can't have everything you want in life. And I'm specifically talking about things like, even from a little kid, my hero, one of my heroes, had a lot of hockey players and sports athletes that were heroes, but Pelle Lindbergh was one of my heroes as a kid, and he was Pelle Lindbergh, for those who know. And if you're from Sweden, if you're watching from Sweden, you know who he was. He was the goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers in 1985. Came here and he was drafted in 1979. Came over, and by 1985, he was the best goalie in the league. And in a snap of a finger, he was gone. He was killed in a car accident in November of 1985. He had just gotten awarded the best goaltender in the world, won the award for that, the Vezina Trophy, and he died in a Porsche. And I remember I saw his car before, because he was very proud of that car, and I was dying to have a Porsche. So as a kid, and even after the accident that he had, I mean, I still love that car, and I wanted a Porsche. And to this day, I still would love to be able to get my hands on a Porsche and be able to have a Porsche to drive. And I know that's probably not going to happen. That's probably not going to be in the cards for me. But that's not a need. That's a want. If I die and I didn't get a Porsche, it's not that big of a deal. What we need are things like air, water, food, companionship, friendship, family. Those are the things that we need. Yeah, would I like to have a house in Vail, Colorado? Yes. Yes, I would. I would like to have a house in Vail, Colorado. I had a house in the Poconos at one time. I like skiing and I like the winter, and I had a house up in the Poconos, and sometimes you have to make decisions on what's more important. And at the time, I was about to get married, and it was more important to sell that house than and be able to buy a house for my soon to be wife and soon to be family to move into than have a house in the Poconos. So I sold it and flipped it for made about something like $80,000 on it. 82,000, I think I made in 3 years, which was a phenomenal, lucky. And I'm not a real estate guru by any stretch of the imagination. It was just a fluke of luck, but made $82,000 on the sale of that house, and then was able to turn that into the house that we moved into, and my wife currently still owns. And that was the decision that I had to make. You know, did I want to sell the house in the Poconos? No, I would like to have kept it, but I couldn't keep it. I couldn't have it. And I I get frustrated, I think. Well, I don't think I know. I get frustrated. Maybe I shouldn't beat around the bush, but I do get up frustrated when people tell me they know what I need. That you need to do this or you need to do that, or and specifically relationships. I've been very open about my life, um, on not only on the show but in social media, and I continue to do that because I think it's important that people see the full side of life, not just the great stuff. Everybody posts the great stuff, all the good stuff that happens. It's like, hey, I did this, I did that, and that's fine. That's great. You should post that stuff. You should be proud of yourself for your accomplishments. When you do that, you inspire other people. That gets them excited about their lives. They want to do more, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, there's also a modicum of jealousy that goes on, and or frustration on other people's parts where people are turned off. Um, I'll give an example. So, as I said, I'm open about pretty much my whole life, and I don't. There's no need to be secretive because the human experience is different for everybody, but it's also there are a lot of commonalities. There are hardships. There are just different hardships. There are things that happen that are one person goes through that somebody else doesn't. And one of mine is now a divorce that's getting close to being over. And um, there's a relief to that. And there is, uh, I don't want to say a joy, but there is a feeling of pressure being relieved and being able to, take a deep breath and say, okay, we got through this episode of our lives. And, people, I have friends who tell me, well, you got to go through the mourning process. This is what you need to do. You need to go through the mourning process. And I'll say things like, I no, I really know. I've gone through the mourning process. I've had that time. I've mourned. I'm done. I lost my grandparents years ago. My grandmother, my first grandmother that I lost was in 2002. Now, am I still in mourning? No, it's 2025. That's 23 years ago. How long can you mourn? Um, I don't deny these things take time, but at the same time, I guess it's frustrating when people tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do. And I include professionals in that too. I mean, there are some times that psychologists will say, well, you need to do this and you need to do that, or you have to do that. I don't know about that. I think everybody's different. I think everybody works a little bit differently. I am a sensitive person. I do take things to heart, and I am empathetic. And if there are things that those things, as I said, are water, air, food, family. I do need companionship, closeness. But you know, one thing that somebody said recently was, you're the kind of person who needs a relationship, a romantic relationship. And no, I don't need one. Now, would I like to have one? Would that be something that I would enjoy having? Eventually, yeah. But I don't think that that's really that abnormal. You know, it's kind of like people think that means you're desperate for that. It's not. It's not desperation at all. You know, one of the things that as a 50-year-old surprises me about the dating scene now is that, you know, if you go out for pizza or if you go out to dinner, then it's a relationship. It's somehow, you know, what happened to the days of like, yeah, I know it was a TV show, but like maybe the 50s, like Happy Days, where, you know, they just went out with different people, you know, Fonzie and Richie and Ralph and Potsy, and they dated different girls, and you know, they didn't. It wasn't something that was terrible. They went out, had a good time, and that was it. And if it worked out that they wanted to see each other again, they did. So, you know, I'm just kind of baffled by how we've changed so much in such a short amount of time. And we do have a comment already from one of our buddies from last week. Craig's on the line. So Craig, here he is. Craig Shapiro from last week. We did a great show last week. People will always judge both good and bad. It's up to us on how we take them. It doesn't make things easy, but our authentic self is critical. And I do agree with Craig that we have to be authentic. We have to um, be true to ourselves. Um, I, you know, when people say to me, you know, one of the things I posted today on Facebook was, you know, again, I would like to someday, I'm not saying today, but someday get into a relationship again. And, you know, there are people out there and even family members who say things like, well, you're an ostomy patient, so you're probably not going to have that happen. That's not going to happen for you. Or I've had, you know, people say things like, well, you know, it's going to be tougher for you because you're an ostomy patient and things like that. Well, I mean, they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what it entails. There really is not that much of a difference. First of all, if I'm out somewhere and I'm uh, fully dressed in regular clothes and I wear a 33 waist, so it's not like I have a huge waist that's blocking anything. I wear tight clothes. You can't tell even with the tight clothes on. You know, and then in intimate situations, there's a cover for it. It's completely covered and completely concealed. It's not anywhere in the open. But people don't know these things, so they assume that, oh, it's got to be horrible. It's got to be this terrible life. And I did too. I'll be honest. When I was first getting ready to get this surgery, I thought my life was over. I thought, you know, I'm going to be a disgusting person and just, there's a book out there that they read to kids. Everybody poops. Well, everybody does poop. It's just, how do they poop? I happen to go a different way than other people go. But any girl that I date, I know poops. It's not a surprise. It's not a shock. I mean, it's not. It just happens the quote normal way, as opposed to mine is different. But it's the same thing. It's not any different. You know, people say you have a bag. Well, yeah, I have a bag. Mine is on the outside. Their bag's on the inside. It's called a colon. That's a bag. That's a bag that literally stores stool. That's what it is. Dr. Jacqueline just put in, it would really be a problem if we did not poop. Yeah, it would be a problem. We would die. That's what would happen. You'd be backed up with uh, uh, bacteria and you would die. And if I didn't have the surgery, I would be dead because the colon that I did have was defective. It had ulcerative colitis. I had ulcerative colitis, and it was literally dying on me. And it was becoming cancerous. And the odds were that I was going to wind up with colon cancer. In fact, when the pathology reports came back, they found a lot more precancerous cells than they found before. So it was probably just a time bomb that was ticking away. And if not for the surgery, I'd be dead. So do you think that, a woman saying to me, hey, you know what, I don't think I can handle the fact that you have a bag is going to crush me after going through that? So what I need, or I guess maybe this goes into the want column. I want people to stop telling me what I need. I want them to understand that I don't need anything. I don't. No woman is going to complete me, and I'm not going to complete any woman. That's not going to happen. We are complete. We're going to complement each other. So the person that I meet, I'm going to compliment her. I'm going to be supportive for her. I'm going to be her whatever, whether it's boyfriend, husband, whatever down the line. Or same for me. She'll be, I'll be complete, but she will compliment me. She will be there for me when I need her. She'll be there to support me when I need support. That's what I want. That's what I eventually. But you don't go from A to X in the matter of minutes or dates. It's not like I would ask a girl out and then if she says yes, go to 8th and Walnut on Jewelers Row and buy a ring. I mean, it just seems like that's where people's heads are today. It's very strange to me. It obviously it wasn't like that when I was 20 or 21 because we were so young. But what's the rush? I mean, why are people so into it's got to be now. It's got to be now. Or if we go out on a date, then I can't date anybody else. It's exclusive. No, it's not. Unless you decide mutually that it is, it's not. That's just the way it is. I've had women tell me that they're not ready to date. That that's not in the cards for them. That's fine. I mean, what am I going to do? Force them to. And first of all, who knows that they would even be interested in me personally? They might be interested in somebody else. So, this idea that in order to be complete, I need to have a relationship is complete BS. It's not true. It's not true. Would I want it? Yes, eventually. And I want to make that clear. But again, I want a lot of things. Would I like to be a multimillionaire? Yes. Do I think that'll happen? Yes, I do. I do think that'll happen because I keep working at it. I keep looking for avenues for it to happen. I think it's going to break eventually. And then what would I do with the money? What would I do with the money? Well, it would go to things that my family needs. It would go to less fortunate people. Would I treat myself to the things that I want? Would I buy the house? Let's say just for argument purposes, it's $50 million. All right, I'm just making up a number. I mean, I don't. I mean that probably is pretty far out of the realm of possibility, but let's just say it was. Struck it rich, made 50 million. Yeah, I buy a $10 million house in Vale. Yeah, I buy a Porsche, $100,000 Porsche or $150,000 Porsche. Absolutely. Why shouldn't I? I earned it. I would get the things that I want. And no, money doesn't buy happiness, but you can enjoy your money. There's nothing wrong with that. But what would really make me happy would be able to go to a restaurant and see somebody who's down on their luck and write a $250 tip, or go and find out about somebody who's got a problem and they can't send their kid to school and just pay their kids tuition, things like that. That would make me feel good. So those are wants in my life. That's what I want to be able to do those things. I want to touch lives. Craig's got another comment. So Craig, please let's see what your comment is. People accept us for who we are inside and out, or they won't. That's true. I agree with that. We will reciprocate in kind. Finding people, both platonic or otherwise, who lifts us up makes life better, but you can't force it. Trying to make a relationship work often leads to toxic feelings, and that's true. That is very, again, and Craig and I are on the same page on a lot of things, and this is another one that we're on the same page on. You know, these things either develop or they don't. And that's just the way it is. You know, whether I become a millionaire or not is either going to develop or it won't. Whether I own a Porsche someday or not is either going to happen or it won't. But it's not a need. It's not a need. Now, companionship is a need. I think that friendship and love from another person. I know somebody whose mother is in a nursing home, and it was just her 96th birthday. And I don't know if Claire's watching, but Claire, if you're watching, happy birthday to your mother. And this woman is in need of companionship. She's in need of people being with her. She's sad because she's not being visited enough. And her daughter is trying to get up there as much as she can. She's doing a great job. She's working hard, and she's a single mom, and she's doing a great job of getting up there and seeing her daughter, or I'm sorry, her mother. And her mother needs that. That's a need. I do think people die of a broken heart when they're old and they have nothing left to live for. I think they do get crushed, and I think they do lose the will to live. So that would be another need. So with that, we're going to take our commercial break here because we hit about the 20-minute mark. So we're going to take our commercial, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about needs and wants after this.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
Think about that. You could be sitting in this chair doing your own show. So that's something that you want to look into. This is a great platform with a lot of great people on it who really spread a lot of good things across the world. And Claire is on the line. So Claire, we got a comment from Claire. Hey, Claire, good evening to you. And I was just talking about Claire Conley and her mom, Virginia, who just had her birthday. And, one of the things that Claire and I talked about this weekend was that her mother wasn't doing well at all. And when she got to the nursing home, her mother was really sick and not doing well. And Claire showed up, and Claire fed her and gave her something to drink and sat with her and talked to her and sang her happy birthday. And she went from a woman who was really not well to getting out of bed after a week and being able to walk around and being able to not walk around, but she's in a wheelchair, but be able to get around. And then she had other family members show up, and she was just so excited. It brought her back to life. And that's why these things happen, because that's the power of love. That's the power of companionship. That's the power of being one with other people. And Claire did that for her mother. And I told her yesterday, she should feel good about doing that. That's a special thing. That's a gift that she gave her mother, and she continues to give her mother, and that's important. Do I struggle with certain things? Yes, I've been very open about mental illness. I have had my whole life. 50 years old, probably for 50 years, had depression, anxiety, and OCD. Got colitis at 27, turning 28. Had a rough 12 years. then wound up having to have surgery to have the ostomy. So that was a rough time to get used to that. Is there a part of me that harbors resentment? Is there a part of me that says, damn it, I lost a lot of prime years? You bet. You bet. There are days where I feel like I lost a lot of prime years, a lot of years that I could have done a lot more things. Maybe I would have been a millionaire by now, if only not for those issues that I was going through. Maybe I would have been a better father. Maybe I would have been a better husband. Maybe I would have been this or that or whatever. Maybe I would have been able to touch more lives if I had not lost so much. So, yeah, do I feel a need to pack in as much as I can in the last whatever bit I have left? Yeah, I'm 50. I don't expect to live to be 100. I think that's asking a lot. But if I could get to 90, that gives me 40 more years, and I want to pack in as much as I can in those 40 years. And I hope that's what I have. I hope I have about 40 left. If you gave me a contract right now and said sign it and you could have those 40 years and then that's it, that's your guarantee. But then at 90 you're done, I would take it. I would take the guarantee. But um, I have a need, and this is not a want, this is a need to do extraordinary things with what I have left, because I feel like if I don't, then all that suffering and all that heartache and all that pain was all for nothing. And I can't swallow that. I just can't. I don't have the ability to suck that up. You know, people, another thing I posted today on Facebook, people get so um why do you pose? Why do you show your muscle? Why do you do that? You know why? Because I was told in by nurses and doctors, you're done. You're not going to lift anymore. And I've been a weightlifter since I was 14 years old. Especially 16 was when I really started like a lot. And Dr. Jacqueline, yeah, if you can find the photos, you can show them if you want to. But people say, well, that's so self-serving that you put on these photos, or it's bragging, or you're really trying to show off or whatever. No, I'm not trying to show off at all. I'm trying to show you that when people say you can't, that doesn't mean you can't. That means they think you can't. I can do whatever I want to do within reason. I can't fly. Right? Dr. Jack is going to show a couple pictures of me and what I've built myself into. There's me today. Now, that's me from today with my ostomy belt on. Where's the ostomy? Can you see it? Do you know where it is? What side's it on? Is it on the left? Is it on the right? Can you tell? That's what I look like without a shirt on with my ostomy. I mean, so when people say you're never going to find anybody because you got this ostomy, I'm a 50-year-old man with obliques and not a six pack. I'll admit I don't have a six pack, but I got close to it. And I sure as hell don't have a dad bod, if we're going to use that term. So, it's frustrating to me when people say that, you can't do this, you can't do that, or no one's going to want you because you got a bag, or no one's going to. This is so garbage. And am I fighting Father Time? Yeah, and I'm going to fight Father Time until Father Time runs out. I'll be 90 years old in the gym. Nobody's going to tell me that, well, you're 60 in 10 years. You're 60, and why are you a child? Going to the gym. It's not a child. I'm doing what I want to do with my life the way I want to do it. Claire's got another comment. I'd love to hear it. Thank you, Claire. She said, good for you, Justin. Congratulations. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. But I had a woman on a dating site on Facebook, and instead of passing me up, instead of just going by my profile, She literally wrote to me, are we that pathetic and that, I can't remember the other word she used, but that pathetic and that desperate, that's what it was. That pathetic and that desperate that at 50 years old, we have to try to use our bodies to try to attract other people. Who the hell is she to tell me that, what I'm trying to do with those pictures? She doesn't know the backstory. She doesn't know what went into all of that. She doesn't know the blood, sweat, and tears that went into all that. Who's she to tell me? And I actually found out who it was too. And I found out in this dating site, there's no last name, but I was able to figure out who she was because I knew her through a couple other friends. But I'm not going to be that guy that is going to call her out and embarrass her just because she said some nasty things. But she said them and connected with me, just so she could get her point across that it was pathetic or it was desperate. Desperate has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. Is it desperate when a swimmer goes out and swims their best and wins a championship? Is that desperation, or is that them being proud and doing what they do and trying to be the best they can at what they do? Is it desperation when a painter sells a painting? If a painter goes out and sells a painting and does impeccable work and makes $50,000 on a painting, is that desperation? No, no. That's showing what you can do and what you want to do, what your passion is. Is it desperation when a band goes out on the stage and they rock the stage, whether it's Journey or bands I like Journey or Def Leppard or any of the bands from the 80s and that go out there? Is that showing off? No, it's showing your talent. It's showing what you did, what you accomplished. The work that goes into that. Rachel's here. All right, Rachel's here every week. So let's get Rachel's comment. So Rachel says, I know you, and you even said on your show, you like genuine women, and the women that you do start a relationship will love you for being the awesome guy you are. And happy birthday to Claire's mom. That's so sweet. Yes, yes. Thank you, Rachel. And thank you for all of it is sweet. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want people to be genuine. Absolutely. I think that's an important part of the equation. Dr. Jacqueline just posted something. I want to read this. I posted a pic of myself in a bikini when I turned 60 in 2023. I work hard for my figure and I'm proud to show it. Well, why wouldn't you be? Why shouldn't she be? Why would somebody begrudge Dr. Jacqueline and say, well, you're too old to do that? Because that's what I get. You're too old to be a muscular guy. I mean, what are you trying to do? Get women because that you have muscles? I mean, that's such a stupid thing. I mean, no. Why is it a problem if I'm proud of that? Why is it a problem if Dr. Jacqueline is proud of what she looks like in a bikini in her 60s? Why? Where I don't see there's a need, and the need is to be appreciated for things that you do. That's a need. We all do. We all want to feel good about ourselves. Why do we have to pretend like we're not good at something or that we're bad at something or not be able to take compliments? And why do people get jealous? You want to look like me? You want to look like Dr. Jacqueline? You want to look like Craig Shapiro? Go to the gym, eat right, work out, do the things that it takes to get it. But if you're pissed because you don't look like that and it's because you're not doing the work, well, don't take it out on the people who are doing it. It's not their fault. It's jealousy, and there's no need for it. And nobody's saying that you have to do it. It's not like, I have a friend and she's very critical of herself, very, very critical of herself. She said that, I don't look good. I'm too heavy. It's one thing after the other that she doesn't, feel attractive and she's wrong. She is attractive and she can't see it. Other people can, but she can't see it. And it's just sad that she says, well, I'm heavy. and no guy will ever want me because I'm a little bit heavy. Now, I get it. If somebody's morbidly obese, it's going to be tougher to find somebody. I understand that. I get it. I mean, let's be honest. Somebody's 600 pounds, it is different than somebody who's overweight. There's a difference. But this is not the case with this person, and fails to see the good things in her. Fails to see the things that uh, are wonderful about her that could make her a good girlfriend or wife or whatever she wants to be. But she's afraid of what people think. She's afraid of what people are going to say, what people are going to think about her, and tell her why. Why? Who cares what they think if they're going to be nasty? And why do you have to be nasty if you're not interested in somebody? Why can't you just say you're not interested? Why do you have to tell the reasons why you're not interested? That's another thing I don't get. Like this woman who connected with me, took the time to connect with me. And I know it sounds like I'm bitter about it. I'm not bitter that she did it to me. I'm just annoyed that there are people out there like that. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't really give a crap because I I, I wasn't interested in her anyway. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't like her profile and I didn't find her attractive. So it wasn't like I was losing out on anything, but it annoys me that she would go out of her way to do that. And I'm sure I'm not the only person she's done it to. So this is probably a pattern where why would you go out and tell people what you don't like about them instead of politely saying, "Look, I'm just not interested" or whatever like that? Well, why do you have to go in? Simon Sinek, who's somebody I really admire, and he talks about um, where did we get this idea about being brutally honest? We can be honest, but we don't have to be brutal. And his example is somebody could say to you, "Do I look good in these jeans?" And you could say, "Well, I like the other jeans better." That's honest, but that's not brutal. That's honest, but that's not brutal. And that's what you need to do. I hate to have to turn somebody down that I'm just not clicking with or that I'm just not work. I don't like the feeling of rejecting somebody because I know it's painful. But I would never do it in a way that would make it even more painful. To say to somebody, well, I don't like, and this is what I heard girls say, I don't like heavy set girls or something. Why would you say something like that? Why wouldn't you just say, look, I have a certain type that I'm interested in, or whatever, and then just let it go. Why would you have to point out the flaws that you see? You know, or even in my case with the bag, like if you don't want to go out with me because I have a bag, then don't. But you don't have to tell me that's why. You don't have to tell me, well, because I think you're disgusting because you have a bag. I mean, you don't have to add that in. You can if you want, and I don't care because if you're that shallow and that's who you are, I don't want you anyway. But do you really need to point that out? Or if I was burned in a fire and disfigured, and you were like, "Look, I'm just not interested," I would know why. You don't have to point it out. You don't have to make it known. And I think that's what the problem is with people is they uh, either are jealous at times or cruel or unthinking. I hope it's more unthinking than cruel, but I got a feeling that cruel is probably more of the way it is. But I know we're about to wrap up, but my point is, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, you need to live your life. You need to live your life. If I'm going to post a picture of myself flexing, I'm going to post a picture of myself flexing. If I'm going to post a picture of myself teaching a class, I'll post a picture of my class teaching. I've recently had, and I've talked about miracles before. My grandmother was very into cardinals. Something spiritual is happening to me over the last several weeks, about 3, 4, 5 weeks, that I don't know what's happening. But I've been getting besieged with cardinals constantly, almost daily on Facebook, outside. People are like, "Oh, just Facebook because it's the algorithm." Well, did the algorithm put a cardinal in front of my car the other day when I was talking to my mother about a life-changing event? No. That wasn't an algorithm. That was, now people could say coincidence. I say, no, it's not. But that's up to you to decide. I wouldn't tell you you have to believe. You believe or you don't. That's just it. I tell my students all the time in all the classes that I teach, I said, I never, and I say it the same way every time. They probably get sick of hearing it if they take me multiple times. I say to them, I never tell you what to do. I only give you options. I don't tell you what to do. I give you options. You pick the option that works best for you. And if it's the one that I would do, great. If it's one that you think is better for you, then great. But you do you. So I hope everybody out there knows the difference between wants and needs, and don't shoot down everybody's dreams. Do I have a dream of being in love again? Do I have a dream of being in a relationship again? Yes. Is that a need? No. Is it a want? Yes. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. Will it happen within the next couple of years? I'm hoping so. I could hope, I could dream, but I'm not going to let anybody tell me, oh, that's not going to happen because you have a bag, or that's not going to happen because you're 50 years old and then you'll be 51 or 52. I don't need to hear it. I know what I am. I know what I have. I know what I can give, and I know what I deserve. And you should too. So we're going to take this not commercial. I'm sorry. We're going to show the vignette of the hockey game coming up as we get closer and closer to it. I did talk to Mark Recchi actually via text message, and he's still in. And we might have another surprise guest, an NHL Hall of Famer. And I will give only one hint. He did play for the New York Islanders, won 4 Stanley Cups with the Islanders. He may, we don't know yet, may be able to join us as well. So hopefully that'll happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but I gave it a shot. So let's watch this little vignette on the event, and then we'll talk about it and we'll close off.
I just want to tell you how thankful I am that you came out tonight and helped us out on a very special evening. Crohn's and colitis are terrible diseases, and they affect a lot of people, not only in the Delaware Valley, but all over the world. And hopefully we can find a cure someday.
Nolan here with you at the CHECKMATES versus the Flyers alumni. We had a great time this afternoon. Game was close, and we're all here for CHECKMATES Charities, which is the real reason that everybody's here, not only the players, but all the fans that were here. It was a great day, and we're really happy to be here.
It's fun to be out here at the Northeast Skate Zone because the Czechos were a pretty good team, and so we had a lot of fun with the charity. And it was good because they took it easy on us old guys. So we had a good time. So anytime you can do something for charity, and I know a couple guys on the other team, and just be on the rink, we all go have fun.
Good times go. I'm either gone in an instant or here to the bitter end. I never know what I've got.
I want to thank my family for all that they did to help me get through this, and there's a lot of planning that get done. It has to get done. I want to thank Nick's Roast Beef and Cotman Avenue for all they've done. Dr. Prieto for saving my life, finding the disease and treating me for so long, and the Flyers organization for all they do to help us raise money every year. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget August 23rd, 2025. We're going to have some great players involved. Brian Prop, Mark Recchi, possibly Rod Brindamore. There's our website, www.checkmatescharity.com. Reached out to Kevin Deneen, who is also a Crohn's patient. Chris Terrian, Doug Crossman. And I will say, as we're talking about the show about, people telling you what you can and cannot do, there were a lot of people who said I couldn't get this done. And we've done it 5 times already. And this is going to be the biggest one ever. Bernie Perron, Joe Conklin, Lauren Hart's going to come and be a part of it. Rolf Benershka. And there's some surprises that I didn't even know of that are going to happen, that are transpiring right now behind the scenes. And it's just amazing. So, as we close out, remember, August 23rd, I need 1,000 people in that hockey rink. I need 750 people in that restaurant. Let's fill that place up. We're going to make money for Children's Hospital and for Rolf Benershka's ostomy, Embracing Ostomy Life charity, to help people who are struggling with these things, and we can make their lives better. If I can't pull this off, then all my suffering was just a waste. You can't let that happen to me. I need you. I can't do it without you. And one last thing I want to say before we end this show. You are the boss of your life. You run the show. Run it. Don't let anybody else run it. Don't let anybody else tell you what you should and should not do, how you should do it, what you should do. Run your own race. All right? So until next time, have a great week. And I'll see you at You as a Whole, Body, Mind, and Soul, on USA Global TV and Radio.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today. usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacqueline.thinkific.com. Join Dr. Kerbeck's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by executive producer and director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.